walk off the bobsled.
Oh, perfect. No, that's fantastic. Yep.
That's good.
Awesome. So, guys, thank you so much for hanging out with me here, Sunday morning here in Queensland. I think Saturday night for you guys over there in Utah. So thrilled to have you join me for this interview and have a chat about your bobsled team. So, look, why don't you introduce yourselves to our audience and just tell us a little bit about yourselves, where you were born and what led you to moving away from New Zealand.
All right, I'll start. I'm John. I'm the brakeman for the New Zealand two-man bobsled team. I was born in North Shore Hospital many years ago. I spent most of my youth hanging around the North Shore of Auckland and loving it. I mean, there's a lot of great stuff in Auckland for a young guy to be getting involved in. Spent a lot of time surfing and skating and that sort of thing, which eventually led to snowboarding, which joined in with my desire to travel. And then over time, since about age 19, I've travelled a fair bit, seen a fair bit of the world. And in my travels, I ended up in Whistler, where I came there for snowboarding, and and that's where I heard about the New Zealand Bobsled Team, and made some efforts to get in contact, and eventually the guy that was doing it could no longer, and again I put my hand up quite loudly a few times and secured myself a spot.
Good on you, awesome. And Martin, we know you're not a New Zealand-born Kiwi, but you've become one, and, who could blame you? So share with us about where you're from.
Well, I'm a Kiwi by choice. I was born in England, and at the age of 10, my parents immigrated to Canada, so I grew up in Canada. Met a girl from New Zealand, followed her to New Zealand, fell in love with New Zealand, and the end result became a New Zealand citizen. Presently, I'm living in Whistler because that's where the bobsled track is, where I can train. And my long-term goals are to move back to New Zealand, where we have a house in Diamond Harbour on the Banks Peninsula.
Awesome. And look, so obviously, the thing that's connected us is that we're, Kiwis that are living abroad. We've got the Kiwi Facebook page, Proud Kiwis Abroad. And the thing that connects us is really, even though we're living in different parts of the world, that love for New Zealand. So to put New Zealand on the map a little bit, have you got any favourite spots or any recommended place that you'd love for other people to know about?
For me personally, it's a bit of a funny one, because everyone, when they think, where's your favourite spot in New Zealand, there's all these exotic, small little towns or beaches and things that people don't know about. But there's the big one that everyone does know about that occasionally gets a bit of grief from the rest of the country. It's Auckland. There is so much in Auckland. You can drive from one coast to the other in 45 minutes. Yeah. If you're into surfing and such like I am, you've got choice there all over the place. There's just, I would say Auckland. The beaches, the lifestyle, the nightlife, you've got everything in Auckland, and you don't have to live right in the heart of the city to be able to enjoy that. You can live on the beach as well, so that would be me.
Awesome, excellent. And what about
South Island boy? I love Wanaka, and what Wanaka's got to offer: the mountain biking, the skiing, the snowboarding, the environment, the lifestyle. But I also love the ocean, and so hence that's why presently we're based out of Diamond Harbour. And proximity to the ocean is fantastic for me. I love what New Zealand has to offer, and the ability to get to some totally different environments within, not a lot of time. And so you can be skiing or in the morning and sailing on a lake in the afternoon. That kind of opportunity is fantastic. And there's nowhere else in the world I found like that.
Nice. And so the bobsledding was what, obviously you were travelling anyway, John, but the bobsledding is what keeps you living away from New Zealand at the moment. It's more opportunities for you to pursue the sport in other countries.
No, I wouldn't say it's the primary. I mean, it's becoming a primary. But no, the reason that I live in Whistler, and I guess my passion for a long time has been snowboarding. Bobsledding is a newish thing to me. I've only been in it, for a little while now. But it's the mountain lifestyle, And it is something you can get in New Zealand. Queenstown is another amazing place that I would consider living, possibly in the future. But at the moment, what's keeping me there is everything. There's a lot of good people, a lot of travellers, and it's just a great place. And yeah, and now that I'm in this amazing opportunity, that's definitely a huge factor.
Cool, awesome. And so, Kiwi inspirations. Have you got any, people that you have been inspiring to you over the years from New Zealand?
Inspirations. I don't know. I guess it might be a bit of a cliche because it's everyone I think would take inspiration from Sir Edmund, but yeah, I would say Sir Edmund Hillary. Just what he accomplished, when he accomplished it, how he accomplished it. It's for a New Zealander and for New Zealand, it's one of the biggest things that has ever been done.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. And what amazing a contribution to putting New Zealand on the map, which is pretty cool. So.
Yeah, I'd like to mirror the comments John made about Sir Edmund Hillary. And something a little bit closer to me that happened is it was actually a coach. I was an official at the Olympics in Whistler in 2010, and I saw the New Zealand coach. And I said to him, well, where's our New Zealand bobsled team? At which point he told me that they didn't have one. And I told him I'd actually been piloting a sled on the track in Whistler, at which point he said that if I could slide in Whistler, I could slide anywhere around the world. Because Whistler is a very fast track and it can be quite technical. So that kind of the penny dropped, and I thought, well, maybe this is a chance for me to get some exposure for bobsledding within New Zealand, because there's such a wealth of athletes coming out of New Zealand. Maybe this is a sport that hasn't really crossed their paths, and maybe it's something that in the future we can attract more Kiwis to try is bobsledding. Because it's, as far as adrenaline goes, it's not much else out there that I've encountered that gives me the same adrenaline kick and rush as bobsledding. I mean, it's over in 55 seconds, but 55 seconds, it's pretty intense.
It's really intense.
And look, I know that we've chatted about getting a video of you guys going down in the sled and being able to upload that onto the Facebook page or the website, and I think that would just be phenomenal to actually get a sense of being part of what that's like as well. I think that would be awesome.
Well, this is a down day for us. It's in between, just finished the pilot school for the previous week, and I've got a team captain's meeting at 6 o'clock this evening shortly. And I've downloaded some pictures onto the Facebook page, and my technical ineptitude, I'm having trouble putting the video onto the Facebook page, but that's more my fault than anything else.
We're both learning, I know a little bit, but yeah, we're both figuring out the media side of things, so that will keep progressing.
Awesome. And so, look, tell us about your goals and your aspirations with the New Zealand Bobsled Team. I know you've got a placing in the world at the moment, what your goals are and where you see yourselves heading.
The goals, the big goal is to make the Olympics. It is a big goal, and but it is attainable. There's steps that we need to go through. We need to keep practicing and keep refining what we're doing, becoming better and better and faster and faster. Before the Olympics, there's the World Championships in St. Moritz, St. Moritz, which would be the first goal before the Olympics. But just to get better at the sport and to be contending at the upper level that we are at the moment just to keep contending better and better.
We started off kind of at the grassroots. Last year was the first season I did racing on an international basis, just doing the North America's Cup, as it's called this year. Last year was the America's Cup, and because of the conflict with the name, it's now the North America's Cup. And from the races I did last year, I did 6 races. My placing in the world was 62nd in the world. My goal, my ambition this year is to get to be 40th in the world. And as John mentioned, we did 2 races this coming week in Park City. Following that, we're going to Calgary for two more races. There's an international training week in Whistler, and then following that, it's back to Calgary for another 3 races. Following that, the goal, finances allowing, is to get to Europe and do a World Cup at Eagles in Austria. Following that is the World Championships in St. Moritz. And then right after that is a World Cup in Sochi, where the Olympics are going to be a year after in 2014. What's holding us back right now is the financing, unfortunately, because it's very costly to get to Europe. And I'm not going to take this sled to Europe because that's very costly in itself, and then transporting it around, but rather rent a sled in Europe and compete in those events and any other events that we can, and time allowing and finances allowing. And then to get down to Russia, which is working out to be a bit of a logistical nightmare for all those concerned due to the fact the proximity of Sochi from San Moritz is 3,200 kilometers, and you have to go through the Ukraine. So the cost of getting, even though it's a rental sled, getting it to Sochi is quite astronomical. And then likewise, once there, the accommodation is quite, costly, incredibly costly actually. So those are some of the things the hurdles we've got to encounter. In the short term, as I say, we're going to do the races here in Canada, and we're doing whatever we can. We made these hoodies. We're trying to sell some hoodies. We're looking at trying to do arm bracelets. We're looking at any different avenues we can to try and raise the funding and awareness so that we can get that to that next stage of getting to Europe, because that would be very crucial for the Olympics. And my goal this year is to with the results I can obtain is to be top 40 in the world. And I think getting to that stage really opens up the door for us to make a strong bid for the Olympics.
Awesome. And look,
another to add to that, our goal also in relation to that is to get the exposure out there, to get people aware of us and of what we're doing, so they get in behind and get the support.
Yeah, and hence the reason, that we're, having this chat and this interview at the moment. So what can people do to help you and get behind you? Tell us a little bit about your website. Give us some site details so that people can go and have a look at that. Of course, I'm going to be putting something on my Facebook page as well to help build your profile. But what can people do to get behind you and give you some support?
Well, initially, now we've just gotten ourselves a campaign manager, Tim Johnson, and he's amazing, and he's been doing amazing things for us in the short time that he's been with us. So we're still kind of getting ourselves together in that respect. We do have the website. It's nzbobsled.org, which is a great place to have a look and see what we're doing, and that will be continually building and growing and adding content. But I guess the best thing for people to do at the moment is just join the Facebook page, because that's going to be the intermediate that we use to connect with people and let them know what's going on and when things are going to be happening, and they can follow our progress from there.
Awesome. Yep, excellent. And yeah, it's certainly going to be exciting to watch you guys progress and hear about all your upcoming successes. I know that you guys are on to great things. Certainly, Tim speaks very highly of you. So I know, from my perspective, I'm really excited to help you build that profile as well. And so Martin and, John, I know Martin and I have chatted a little bit on Skype previously, and, your family are obviously pretty excited about what's going on. But, share with us what they think of the whole thing.
Well, I was struggling to find a Kiwi in Whistler, where I was based, to actually make a commitment to come to bobsled with me. And, fortunately, John stepped up to the plate, which is just fantastic. And prior to that, my daughter, who is 8 years old now, was actually born in Dunedin. She said, well, Dad, because of my age, she said, well, you're going to be the oldest guy in the Olympics. I'll push your bobsled, and come the Olympics, she'll be 10. So I thought, well, that'll be a good combination. But I thought that was good that she was, fully behind what Dad's doing. And I thought that was quite funny, actually.
Yeah.
But we're just doing our best, really. We're struggling, and if people have some finances or some exposure, like we've got lots of space on the sled as far as stickers go, for promotion, for advertising, anything we can do to kind of raise funds and awareness would be fantastic. And like I say, we've got hoodies which we're selling here in Canada. We're looking at the possibility of getting some hoodies made in New Zealand. There's a lot of the things we're trying to do, and right now there's nothing really in place in New Zealand. Maybe in Australia as well we can do something. These I talked about these bracelets, and maybe we can get something like that set up, and it'll be easier to mail things like that to people if they want to make a contribution. But at this point in time, any contribution, large or small, would be so much appreciated.
From my perspective, the reaction that I've been getting from my friends and family has just been amazing. Everyone is initially just blown away by it. Be like, really can't believe it. And recently, when we've put some of the media content on Facebook, the response has just been amazing. People are just, basically can't believe that I'm actually doing it, and just so stoked for me. And I'm stoked for myself. The opportunity came up, and I jumped on it, and it's been amazing so far, and I'm pretty sure it's going to get a lot better.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's the thing, isn't it, with opportunities, when you just grasp them and go for it. And I know that making a difference and being an inspiration to other young up-and-coming athletes is really important to you guys as well. And I mean, for me personally, because I know Tim, I had no idea that New Zealand had a bobsled team, and I think that it's really special and important to be able to highlight what a lot of athletes are doing. So yeah, I guess sharing with us a little bit about what you see for the future of bobsledding as well.
Well, as I mentioned, hopefully by raising awareness for the sport, it'd be fantastic and ideal if we could get a 4-man team together. So we need another 2 people. So there's people out there that want to join the New Zealand Bobsled Team, and we need the funding to get a 4-man sled and do a bit of training, and away we go. And actually having a 4-man sled will increase our chances of getting to our final destination goal of the Olympics, because there's less nations that compete in a 4-man than they do with a 2-man. But like I say, if there's somebody out there that wants to come bobsledding and they've got a 4-man sled in the backyard, we would join up and do what we can.
Another good thing about that is you get to spend a fair amount of the winter, of the Whistler winter, hanging out in Whistler and in Canada and in North America. So it's pretty cool.
Pretty awesome.
For me, what I see for the future of bobsledding for me is that I'm learning about bobsledding in every aspect of it. So I'm just looking at the now. I'm just trying to refine what my part and my role in this team is, and just get better and better at that, and make sure that I'm doing everything I can to do what we're doing at the moment well. And then, as time goes on, then we can sort of look onto bigger and other things.
I'm hoping too that Jon's passion, his interest for the sport, like following these Olympics, that he would like to continue with the sport and maybe take on and pilot the sled, and go on to the next Olympics in 2018 in Korea. I'd love to go myself, but I think I'm a bit long in the tooth by then. So we'll see what happens. But to me, the adrenaline and the love of the sport and the passion. That's why if I could get some other people involved, I've got a base in Whistler. I've obviously got a sled. We can kind of help things progress and get other people involved and enjoy the passion and the adrenaline rush that I get, and Jon obviously gets as well from doing the sport. And there's so many people in New Zealand I could just see just loving it and just getting into it.
Cool. And obviously the best way for them to get in contact with you is either through the Facebook page, or you've got a contact you part on your website as well, that people can get in touch with you.
Yep.
Yeah. I've just started up a Twitter account, and I've just had a tutorial this morning on how to kind of use it all. So I'm a bit green at it, but it's NZ Bobsled 1 is my Twitter name.
Yep.
And more than welcome to, love to have people communicate. We can kind of keep them up to speed as what we're doing and trying to do. And mind you, if I do hit the wrong button, something might go wrong. But we'll see what happens. It's a learning curve.
A lot of curves in this scenario.
Awesome. And look, Proud Kiwis Abroad is on Twitter as well, so I'll start to follow you guys also, and retweet any updates and statuses that you put on there for sure. I think social media is so powerful and such a great way to get the word out there. And look, while we're speaking of social media, we do some fun stuff on the Proud Kiwis Abroad Facebook page. We run little polls from time to time. So I've got a really serious and important question for you. Chocolate fish or buzz bars? Which would you prefer?
Gotta be buzz bars.
Yeah, I did that one. I'm a buzz bar guy.
Yeah.
Cool. Another vote for buzz bars. Awesome. That's excellent.
Sorry, chocolate fish.
That's all good. And I guess any final thoughts that you'd like to leave people with? Anything that you'd like to share that we haven't covered? yeah, that you'd like to people to know about you guys personally, or yeah, just anything that you'd like to say to our audience out there?
Well, thank you to you for your involvement and for having this interview with us. And yeah, just that people, you know, have a look at what we're doing and see if it interests you, and you know, follow us and get in behind it.
Maybe there's a chance I could be taken down the track in the bobsled. Who knows? There is a tourist bobsled that runs in Whistler, so there's an opportunity to come down the track in Whistler, which is still and will always probably be the fastest track in the world. So that's, you know, like I say, a trip to Canada, you have to put that on the things to do list, is go bobsledding.
Absolutely, yeah, absolutely. So I've always wanted to get to Whistler myself, actually, so I'll add that to the bucket list, and that would be...
You've got to ride in a sled if you get your way up here.
That would be pretty cool fun, so definitely I'll, yeah, we'll take a rain check on that, and for sure when I make it over that way, I'll be looking you guys up for a ride in the bobsled, absolutely.
Well, I should throw this out there. I'm involved with a business in Whistler, which is a bed and breakfast. WhistlerHouse.com is my website, so if anybody's coming and they mention that they saw this video or they heard about us, I'll work out a deal, and we'll, you know, some incentive for them to come and stay. Maybe it's a bottle of wine, or maybe it's a percentage, just whatever. So there's the incentive right there to come, and I operate that business from May 1st to November 30th, except when I'm way down here, for example, in Park City bobsledding. So there's an opportunity to come to Whistler and meet us and have a look at a bobsled, and maybe the off chance of coming down the track in a bobsled. We'll see, although it's a little bit outside the sliding season those months. It's the summer months here in Canada.
Yeah, no worries. And look, you know, it's great for people to be able to get in contact with you if they do want to just follow up or, you know, chat with you guys about how they can help you as well. Obviously go to newzealandbobsled.org or to your Facebook page and say good day to you guys, work out how they can connect and meet with you as well. And yeah, I really look forward to meeting you guys in person. So Jon and Martin, thanks so much for the interview today. It's been really awesome to have your time. Can't wait to get this video up on my website, and I'll share it with your Facebook page as well. And thanks again. I really look forward to catching up with you again, and you know, getting regular updates as well, just hear how you're progressing. So of course, if you've got any news, we'll reconnect again and go from there.
Well, thank you so much for being here. Once again, if there's somebody out there who's got some inspiration as to how we should, you know, be approaching this funding campaign and sponsorship, we'd love to hear, because that's our kind of weak link right now. But we're doing our best.
Awesome. Well done. My pleasure. I'll catch up with you soon. Have a great day.
Thank you so much for taking the time to interview us.
See ya.
Pleasure. Bye.